Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 9 at Belmont on Saturday is the $750,000 Jockey Club Oaks Invitational. We're going 1 3/8 miles on the inner turf for 3-year-old fillies. Get down on this race to the DRF Bets account. Sign up at drf.com/bet. Get a $100 deposit match. And once you're involved with DRF Bets, you have access to that exclusive rewards program that allows you to earn up to a 5% weekly cash back, as well as free DRF products. Let's meet the field for the Jockey Club Oaks, and we'll take the field in post position order, beginning with a foreign invader. That's the number 1 Edisa, who has shown nothing but quality in France against some pretty tough competition, Mike. Group placed in her last 2 races, and I think this 3-year-old's got a lot of upside.
Yeah, I agree with you that she has upside. She just broke her maiden on May 15th, so it's like she's just getting started. She came back and won again in her next start, and now they've tried a couple of group races with her. Really no match in those races, Dan, but it's not like she was embarrassed either.
We'll take a look at her most recent start at Veal. This is a Group 3 race on July the 27th. She is on the far outside, going 1.25 miles. She'll be turned back by a nice one in Villa Marina. But all things considered, this was a good effort. I like her at longer distances. She is proven on firm and soft going. And I just have a feeling she's going to work out a decent trip from the rail under Pratt.
Yeah, I feel the same way about her. I think this distance is really good for her, too. And it was interesting in this race, we're seeing the stretch winners. You can see she's no match for the winner, but they took her back to last early in that race, and that's not how they've been riding her prior to that. She had kept closer to the pace.
Kieran McLaughlin's taking a shot with the number 2, Romantic Pursuit. This is a Godolphin homebred with a really nice pedigree, a little bit slow on form, but seems to be getting better. We'll go back to her gutsy performance on July the 28th at Saratoga. She is on the lead in the Godolphin Blue. Also in this race is Dinah Passer, the number 3 horse in the yellow gold cap in behind the winner, who's going to duck to the inside right here. Get a look at Romantic Pursuit, but Romantic Pursuit just fights everybody off.
Yeah, this was a really game performance. A filly who's just really improved since they switched to the turf. Worth noting that race right there was at this distance of 1 3/8 miles, so you don't have to worry about that. She's got really good tactical speed. And she was just so game. That's 2 races in a row where it looked like maybe she was going to get beat in the stretch, and she would not let any horses get by her. Does she have to improve in this race? I think she has to improve in this race, Dan, but I could use this horse.
A filly that was supplemented to this race is the number 3, Lady Prance, who invades from Southern California for trainer Richard Baltus. This horse made a big late run most recently in the Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks. Let's go back to that race right now, and she is just far behind, just tipping to the outside right now, and now she's out of the picture. But she's going to come with a determined run to finish 3rd behind Chad Brown's Cambier Park, who you see striking the front right now is much the best. But look at Lady Prance. This is a nice late run. I am a little bit concerned about this extra distance, though.
I'm concerned about that, too. I respect the fact that she's improved in her most recent couple of starts. It feels like she's headed the right way, but this distance, I'm not sure about that. I hate her running style, where it just doesn't have any speed. And that Del Mar Oaks, listen, it's set up really well for her. The pace was there for her. So she should have been running at the end of that race.
Positive formulator fact for trainer Baltus over the past 3 years with 3-year-olds only in non-graded stakes turf routes, 35% winners and a 331 ROI. The 4 is Desert Ride. Truly international cast this race. This one coming down from Canada off a game effort in the Wonderwear Stakes. We turn into the stretch. This one's in the familiar Samsung colors with the red cap, and it looks like she's in deep water because the horse on the outside is looped her, and for a second it appears the Desert Ride is beat. But let's give this filly some credit. She's by your favorite stallion, Candy Ride, and she shows her heart, determination, and grit to win this.
Yeah, a lot like Romantic Pursuit that we saw before. I mean, she was headed in mid-stretch there, but she actually fought that horse off, and you can see her at the end just sort of getting away from that horse again. So that was a pretty nice performance. She did get a really good trip in that race. It's interesting that she's not that fast on paper, but all she does is win. I think she's got a lot of upside, this horse.
Only bad race came against the boys on synthetic in the Queen's Plate. You can certainly forgive her for that. She's got some price potential in this Jockey Club Oaks. Coming from France, but bred in Japan, is Love So Deep, the number 5. And we'll go back to her most recent race, a Group 2 at Deauville, 24-1 shot, making the lead early into the straight, and she's going to take them all the way way down inside the stripes before getting nailed.
Yeah, this is a heartbreaker. She loses right here. This filly, it's no surprise to see her having improved this year as soon as they stretched her out. She's got a huge pedigree to go long on the turf. She's running to it now. She ran great in this race. I mean, she kept up close early. She made an early move to take this thing over, and she just gets nailed on the wire. Really good effort. This came on the heels of a dominant win over listed company at Newmarket. Prior to that, a 1.5 mile distance is no problem for her. She's headed the right way right now, this horse.
The number 6 Wonderment was a pretty good 2-year-old filly last year for trainer Nicolas Clement. Group 1 winner in France in the Criterium de Saint-Cloud, and then missed the early portion of this year with illness. It's taken her a couple of races to get back into form. And you can argue she has not gotten back into form just yet. Here's her most recent race, a Group 3 at Veal. She's in the pink silks. She was last. There wasn't a ton of pace coming on. You can see her trying on the outside, but they're just not coming back to her. She is getting Lasix for her North American debut. And it was interesting in Dave Grenning's DRF Advance on DRF.com that these connections say they want her to be forward, if not outright on the lead.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with her, because in this race, as you said, they took her back and she was really trying, I thought, very gamely to catch, and they just weren't coming back for her. Her races 2 and 3 back. Much more of a free running horse in those races. They put her right up front in those spots. She didn't run bad. I don't know if she ran as well as she had in the races that she's won. We'll see what happens. She is versatile, and she does have a race that's going to make her really hard to beat here, I think.
We saw Dinah pass her in the Romantic Pursuit race. This is a half-sibling to Sadler's Joy, who's banked over $2.3 million on the turf in his career. So obviously distance is not an issue. This filly is slowly getting better. This might be a bit too tough.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it, too. I liked her maiden win over this distance back in May. The Belmont Oaks was way too tough for her. She didn't class up at all that day. And if I'm being honest, I didn't really see the excuse for her not to win last time. I think she's got to take a pretty big step forward.
Art of Almost, the number 8, got a nice Fig 2 back at Woodbine in the Dance Smartly. We liked that race out of her. As a 3-year-old filly facing some salty older horses like Holy Helena and Starship Jubilee, and she was running on at the end of that race. We liked her last time in the Pucker Up, and she basically just lost all chance at the start when she ended up so far back.
Yeah, I think it really did cost her. She got bumped pretty good at the break and just wound up last in that race. I don't think anybody who liked her that day expected her to be last all the way around to the top of the stretch. She still made a little bit of a run. I thought she ran okay, and I think she actually fits pretty well in this race, too.
Top pick time for the $750,000 Jockey Club Oaks. I want to see Wonderment get back to her good form. She was a good 2-year-old. A lot of folks over there believe she was a one-hit wonder. She was a big price when she won that Group 1. I'm very happy to see that the connections want to get her forward. There doesn't appear to be a lot of pace in this race. I think she's going to drift off her morning line. I went 6, 5, 1, and 8. Your top selection, the 5, Love So Deep, is my second choice, and she's got a lot of quality.
Yeah, she's just run really well in her last 2 starts. I just think she's really found herself, especially recently. Distance is no problem for her. And she also has sort of a handy running style. She doesn't come from last, so I think she can get the right trip. I liked her, and I put Adiza down on the rail second. I went 5, 1, 2, and 6.
So we're looking at the Europeans in the $750,000 Jockey Club Oaks, race number 9 at Belmont, opening Saturday of the Fall Championship meeting. Get involved with a DRF Bets account, sign up, get a $100 deposit match, and become eligible for all of the exclusive rewards programs offered by our friends at DRF Bets. DRF.com/bets where you go for all the details. Approximate post time, 5:15 Eastern. Good luck.